up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to this special edition of Sharp Shorts. It is Friday, August 1st of 2025. It is good to have you guys in today. So let's go ahead and get right to it, guys. And just so you guys know and understand, the pull-up line is open. The pull-up line is open. If you have anything to add, anything to say, agree, disagree, whatever the case may be, the hashtag pull-up line is open. If you have any thoughts on the Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf gag order situation. So let's go ahead and get right to it, guys. And listen, shout out to the lovely and talented Devin for sending this to me. She actually sent this to me yesterday. This article came out. Looks like the gag order was issued back a couple days ago on Wednesday, right around 11:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So let's go ahead and read this here. So the article starts, and this was on Yahoo. I'll put the link in the description. This is via the Dallas Express. Logan Washburn, staff writer for the Dallas Express. All right. The article starts. It says a judge has issued a gag order in the murder case against 18-year-old Karmelo Anthony, accused of fatally stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf at a Frisco track meet. Now, see this right here, and you guys know my opinion on this. I think Karmelo Anthony is absolutely guilty. I think there was no self-defense just based on everything that we have seen and heard to this point. I believe that he is guilty at the very least of second-degree murder, and I think that he should definitely serve a prison sentence. But I don't like the way this started. It says a gag order has been issued in the murder case against 18-year-old Karmelo Anthony, accused of fatally stabbing 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. See, that I don't like that slant. Yes, Karmelo Anthony is 18 years old right now, but he was 17 years old when the stabbing occurred. That was on April the 2nd. And the reason why I don't like this kind of a slant is because it's almost like it's trying too hard. There appears to be a mountain of evidence against Karmelo Anthony that would clearly suggest his guilt. There's no need in any publication really trying to slant it as though an 18-year-old adult stabbed a 17-year-old kid. Don't like that, but I'm sure that there are plenty of articles on the other side, the pro-Karmelo Anthony side, that are probably slanting this in the same way. That doesn't mean that our side needs to do the same thing. So anyway, it continues. The Dallas Express obtained the gag order filed on July 28th, issued by Judge John Roach, which bans those involved with the case, plus, quote, law enforcement and court officials from making statements that could sway the trial. It says, quote, the court finds that extensive pre-trial publicity poses serious risk to the fairness of the trial, Roach wrote in the order. Anthony, 17 at the time, which is very good that they pointed that out, allegedly stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf on April 2nd at Kirkendall Stadium in Frisco, as the Dallas Express reported at the time. Now, there is no allegedly stabbed and killed Austin Metcalf, okay? There is no allegedly. He did it. Not only did he do it, he said he did it, and he admitted to doing it. So I guess in our haste to make things fair and equitable, we're using words like allegedly, but there is no alleged killing. Matter of fact, when the cop went to his radio and said, yeah, he allegedly stabbed the victim, and Karmelo Anthony said, no, I'm not alleged to have done it. I did it. He said, there's no alleged to have done it. I did it. So let's go ahead and stop with this whole allegedly stabbed and killed Metcalf on April 2nd. The article continues. Police arrested him the same day. Anthony is set to face trial on June the 1st of 2026. Isn't it interesting that the writ of habeas corpus is always pushed by the defense when their defendant is in jail? When the defendant's in jail, we want a speedy trial, right? When the defendant's in jail, we definitely want a speedy trial. But now that Anthony is out of jail, thanks to the judge that reduced his bond from $1 million to $250,000, which of course was extremely, extremely suspicious. It wasn't weird. It was suspicious. It was BS. Despite all that, they've decided to push this trial date all the way to June of 2026. All the way to June of 2026. It continues. The gag order applies to all parties and attorneys involved in the case, witnesses, consultants, agents, and spokespersons, law enforcement personnel, and court officials. It bans them from making, quote, any extrajudicial statement on the character, credibility, expected testimony, guilt, or innocence of any party or witness, the expected evidence, or the jury. It also bans statements which could influence public opinion or sway potential jurors. These restrictions apply to statements made via any public medium, including traditional news outlets and social media, the order reads. This is very interesting because social media is where most of the damage has been done. That's where most of the damage has been done. The mainstream media is not really reporting this fairly, of course, because they want to make Karmelo Anthony look like the victim. I think it's pretty clear that mainstream media is in the tank for any black person who perpetuates a crime against a white person. So yeah, they're not really talking about mainstream media. They're talking about social media because that's really where the truth is being told. Sarah Fields has been on this since day one. Obviously, the quartering is all over this. So I think social media is definitely the main culprit in this. The article continues. It says, but some statements are allowed, including procedural announcements or statements required by legal or ethical duties. It continues, quote, media coverage has the potential to cause imminent and irreparable harm to the defendant's right to a fair trial, Roach wrote. Alternative measures, venue change, juror screening, sequestration would be inadequate alone. Narrowly applied speech restrictions are necessary to protect juror impartiality. The order is in effect until the jury reaches a verdict or further notice. Any violation could bring contempt, fines, attorney discipline, or other remedies deemed appropriate. Now it goes back as Anthony's bond was reduced from $1 million to $250,000 due to financial hardship, which was weird. As the Dallas Express previously reported, this is despite reporting that Anthony's family had allegedly moved into a $900,000 home in a gated community and was seen driving a new Cadillac Escalade. Anthony claims he acted in self-defense and that Metcalf put his hands on him after being asked not to. According to a police affidavit, he reportedly said after his arrest, "I'm not alleged, I did it." Anthony also asked an officer if Metcalf would be okay and whether his actions could be considered self-defense. Frisco ISD released surveillance footage in mid-June showing movement under a tent near the 50-yard line at 9:55 a.m. during the meet, as the Dallas Express also reported. Soon after, people ran from the area. Minutes later, paramedics arrived for Metcalf. Karmelo and his family are confident in the justice system and the people of Collin County to be fair and impartial, Anthony's attorney Mike Howard previously said in a statement. We expect that when the full story is heard, the prosecution will not be able to rule out the reasonable doubt that Karmelo Anthony may have acted in self-defense. So even Mike Howard knows that this is a shaky case. They've got Karmelo dead to rights. Mike Howard, any attorney should listen. If I'm Karmelo Anthony, I want my attorney to be speaking definitively. Okay, instead of we expect that when the full story is heard, the prosecution will not be. No. We expect that when the full story is heard, the jury and all of the citizens of Collin County will see clearly and unequivocally that Karmelo Anthony acted in self-defense. No, he said reasonable doubt that Karmelo Anthony may have acted in self-defense. Guys, this is not good language by the attorney. This is not good language by the attorney. It appears that Mike Howard, the attorney, is a little bit shaky on the details. Obviously, that's neither here nor there until the beginning of June, but that's pretty shaky. The article continues. Soon after the killing, Metcalf's father, Jeff, expressed forgiveness to Anthony. Weeks later, police removed Jeff from the premises when he tried to attend a press conference held by Anthony's family. Jeff previously said he expected, quote, justice will be served for Austin Metcalf. I look forward to the forthcoming trial, he said, but it will never bring my son back. So let's take a look at these comments here, because the comments are always where the bodies are buried. Here we go. Animal just like animals in Cincinnati. Here's another one. Karmelo is going to be loved by all of his new cellmates. Was Metcalf armed? If not, it will be very hard to prove self-defense. Absolutely. That cannot be claimed anything short of murder, life in prison without the possibility of parole. And listen, man, you guys know me. I'm not the type. I mean, he's a young black man. He made a mistake, and he made a big mistake. He made a big mistake. Like there is no question that he made a mistake. Maybe this is just I don't know. Maybe this is just the bias in me. Karmelo Anthony's a young black man. I used to be a young black man myself, so I identify with him on a certain level. However, I'm not Jeff Metcalf, right? I didn't have to bury my 17-year-old son. I imagine that if I were Jeff Metcalf, I would probably feel differently. Here's another one. Carrying a knife to a sports event. Karmelo done admitted to it. He said, I did it shortly after. Well, he did it. He's going to have a new cage to live in before long. He should be guilty, he's guilty, should be locked up for life, and his family are just what you would expect from the usual suspects. Wow. Guilty as the day is long. Get the chair warmed up. The defense will play the race card. That's all they have. He went looking to kill someone that day. One could argue that he was looking for some static. I see a lot of you guys. Praetorian Guard says he's going to do 10 years. Alaskan K says he needs 34 years minimum, 2 years for every year Austin was alive. That seems pretty fair, I guess. Right? Ben Crump is not on this, so that says a lot. That's exactly right. Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, the usual suspects, I guess, as we call them, they're not talking about this. Praetorian Guard says, told you venue change. Yeah, that's, I think, what the Anthony family wants. They want a venue change. The Anthony family, as well as Mike Howard, their attorney, they have to clearly know that if this case is tried in Collin County, Karmelo Anthony might as well go ahead and pack his toothbrush. Here's another comment. Serious risk to the fairness of a trial. The suspect confessed to the murder. He's going to meet a lot of bubbas. Like in most cases, the brown guy is guilty. They're going to get that boy. I can't wait for Sugar Lips to go to prison. He'll find out what a gag order really is. Jesus Christ. Would have been much more appropriate if that order had been the sentence. Yeah, that's very, very true. I think with this gag order, to be quite honest with you guys, I think this gag order is really more for the Anthony family. This has to be more for the Anthony family because the Anthony family, they're the only ones that are talking. They're the only ones that are talking. Okay? And the more the Anthony family talks, of course, Drew Anthony talking about we moved to Louisiana and this and that. It's like it seems like every other day, every week, there's a new revelation, some new, like the Anthony family has stepped in shit with something they did or something they said. They're not doing themselves any favors. By really talking. So I think this gag order, I believe that this gag order is definitely more for the Anthony family. I think this is more for the defense than the actual prosecution. We'll take a look at a couple of videos. We're going to take a look at a couple of videos. And I think these videos, and again, this isn't anything we haven't seen before, so just fair warning, but this is the reason why there is a gag order. Let me read some of y'all's comments. While we're waiting, guys, let's go ahead and do an agent location check. I usually do this during TSR Live, but let's just go ahead and do an agent location check. It appears that most of us in here are like-minded, fair-minded individuals. And as such, I like to make everyone aware of where we are, in case you happen to live close to or within close proximity of someone else that is watching this live stream. I say this all the time. You never know. Somebody else in the chat could live in your city. They could live in your neighborhood. They could live on your street. They could live on your block. They could live in your building. So let's go ahead and do an age and location check. And I will check you all. In. And again, remember, guys, if you guys have anything to say, if there is anything you would like to say, the pull-up line is open. The link is in the description. The pull-up line is open. The link is in the description. The link is in the chat. If you have anything to say, add, subtract, whatever the case may be, if you agree, disagree on his innocence, guilt, or what have you, feel free to pull up, and we will certainly talk. Adriano Stafford, haven't seen you in here. They say that because he's not convicted. My God, yeah, right. Praetorian Guard says, damn, a whole year. Absolutely. Rogue Nation says, as expected, June of 2026. Praetorian Guard, as he said earlier, they may be arguing for change of venue. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, listen, I still believe Karmelo Anthony is absolutely guilty. But if I'm the defense, I'm trying to get a change of venue. Just like Johnny Cochran did with OJ. Right? If OJ had been tried in Seney County, where the actual murder occurred, OJ would have likely been convicted. But Johnny Cochran and his dream team managed to get the trial moved to LA County, which made a hell of a lot of difference. And is probably one of the biggest reasons OJ walked in the first place. Alaskan K says they're going to run out of money before the trial. Ha 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 ha. Jose says they got that Escalade. Yes, they did. Yes, they absolutely did, which is typical. Alaskan K says, isn't he a public defender? No, Mike Howard, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, I don't think that Mike Howard is a public defender. I don't think Mike Howard is a public defender. That's a little bit weird. Never really thought of it that way. So let's check on the give, send, go of Karmelo Anthony. It looks like people are still giving 6 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Anonymous giver. Look, we got $200, $20. Like, people are still donating. People are still donating. But one thing that I'm noticing here, guys, is the amount. The amount raised appears to be a little bit less. Call me crazy, guys, but wasn't this recently at $600,000? Like, I don't know. I mean, I'll go through my screen grabs, but 16,000. Wait a minute. There we go. 16. I thought it was at $600,000. Hang on a second. Let me. And I know this is bad radio streaming, but I've taken many screen grabs of this. I've taken many screen grabs of the give, send, go. Alaskan K says, can people ask for refunds on GoFundMe? You know what? That might be the reason. That might actually be the reason. Hang on a second. Yeah, this is all right. Well, I'll do some research. I'll do some research on that while I wait for you guys to pull up. In the meantime, guys, let's listen to. I don't think we have ever. At least I've never seen this particular. This says Karmelo Anthony press conference. This was 3 months ago. This is only Dominique Alexander. This is not the press conference that included Dominique Alexander, Kayla Hayes, and Drew Anthony. So you guys are going to be watching this if you haven't seen this before, you're going to be watching it for the first time along with myself, and away we go.
All righty, we're good. All right, so real quick, I want to start off by saying real quick that my comments are represented today by the Next Generation Action Network that have been working with the Anthony family from the advocacy standpoint.
Imposter with the $5 super chat says he's going to tell the judge, sentence me and find out. Yeah, right.
I'm not the Anthony family attorney. Of course, you know the Next Generation Action Network is no stranger to this line of work. And we have been representing families for the last 10 years from an advocacy standpoint to get to the bottom of this situation. The Next Generation Action Network, since the past week, have gotten thousands of calls regarding this situation and making sure that our organization was involved in this situation because of the growing tension of racism and bigotry involving with the case.
Racism and bigotry.
That I appreciate.
Isn't it funny? So already he's bringing up the racism and bigotry. Funny thing is the racism and bigotry is being shown more on Karmelo's side. The niggas who have donated.
The deputy chief.
Praetorian Guard says, is that the dummy they hired? Yeah, right?
John Stretch, from being able to come here to meet with us, as well as the assistant police chief, Darren Stevens. These are two individuals who are currently over the investigation that is currently going on in Frisco ISD. Of course, let's start off in the proper way. I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as president and founder of the Next Generation Action Network, the largest human and civil rights organization in North Texas. Today, we had a meeting with the leadership of the Frisco Police Department to discuss the matter of urgency in escalating racial threats and bigotry and online hate directed at the Anthony family. Let me be clear.
But there it is. There it is again, guys. The let me be clear. Let me be clear. Alaskan case says so they got a pro bono lawyer. I mean, maybe they got a pro bono lawyer. I don't know. Like, again, Karmelo Anthony claimed indigence, yet their attorney is Mike Howard. So maybe I need to do some research on whether Mike Howard is a public defender or not. But Mike Howard has been on this since day one.
Anthony family cannot leave their home because of the growing threats towards their safety. Their personal address has been exposed. They have received graphic and racist threats. They are being targeted with violence and simply because their child is in the center of this tragedy. We are here this justice must be fair and impartial and protected from biases. We cannot allow racism and bigotry to divide us. We cannot allow white America to decide when and how.
We cannot let what? Hold on, it's time for captions. Because we can't understand what this nigga says half the damn time.
We cannot allow white America to decide.
There it is. We cannot allow white America to decide
when and how black people can speak up against oppression.
Oppression has nothing to do with this. Oppression has nothing to do with this, okay? This has to do with one person perpetuating a crime against another. Simple as that.
We do not pull the race card. We live it. Yes, this case is a tragedy. Anytime a child is lost, we mourn as a community. Our heart goes out to...
And let me be clear. Dominique Alexander could not give less of a fuck about Austin Metcalf. He could not care less. The way he kicked out Jeff Metcalf of that press conference and said that was dishonorable or something to that effect, we already know they don't give a shit about Austin Metcalf. The only reason why they're saying, well, anytime a child is lost, we mourn. What they're trying to do is they're trying to give the illusion of remorse. They're trying to give the illusion of remorse. They're not remorseful.
The family of Austin Metcalf. But we do not erase the right of the Anthony family to be protected and heard and treated with dignity. That's why today we spoke with the Frisco Police Department leadership to demand answers. We need to know what steps are being taken to protect the Anthony family, the strategies of the threats that's being spreaded, and how Frisco Police is ensuring that Karmelo Anthony's Sixth Amendment right, fair and public trial, is fully respected. Let's make it clear that absolutely, we have full permission and trust of the Anthony family and authorized for the Next Generation Action Network to speak today. Today, in this meeting, we talked about and was able to give them graphic images of what this family has had to deal with for the last couple of days. It is sad. These graphic images not only display children with knives, black children with knives stuck in their head, the Anthony family's address. We saw when this case first started.
Now that's out of bounds. That's out of bounds. Okay? I'm all about voicing your opinion if you think he's guilty, not guilty, whatever the case may be. Okay? But I am staunchly against doxing people, putting out personal information. All right? I've been a victim of this, for the last 5-6 years. So I know what it's like. Big Said says, why is this nigga talking so fast? I actually have it turned up to almost double speed just to sort of get through this. That's why.
That people were putting online that when Section 8 was accepted into the Frisco neighborhood, that became the lead of the downfall of Frisco.
Yes, that is absolutely true. That is absolutely true. Anytime you introduce Section 8 into any neighborhood, you are going to get complaints. Part of the reason why Devin and I moved out from where we moved out from is because the last few months we were there, we noticed more and more niggas moving in and becoming our neighbors. This is why we got a house out here that is as far away from that riffraff as humanly possible. When I suspected something, I called them up and I asked them, hey, are you guys taking Section 8? They said, yeah. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. That's when we decided, okay, it's time to get the fuck up out of here. It's time to get the fuck up out of here. Nobody wants to be around niggas. They don't. And Karmelo Anthony is one of the reasons why. Be tall and unattractive with the $2 super chat says, why are you oppressing us, Donovan? You don't understand. Yeah, I know, right?
We have saw so many different hateful images, just hateful things. And the Next Generation Action Network wants to reiterate that Karmelo Anthony has a right to a fair trial, unbiased, and removed of racial hate and bigotry. I want to make it very clear.
Jesus Christ.
And I say this from my heart and my own personal reference. If someone wants to say race is not in this situation, and shouldn't be, well, I ask all of those people to join me in calling it out.
Okay, well, okay, you're probably right. And listen, Dominique Alexander has a point. Dominique Alexander has a point. There are racist white people wanting this nigger to fry. Lock that nigger up. Send that nigger to prison. Okay? But black people are infinitely more racist than white people, Mr. Alexander. As a matter of fact, there has been more racism. There has been more openly naked racism on the Carmelo Anthony side than the Austin Metcalf side. And you want to know why? You want to know why there's more? Because we're privy to it more. Social media is clearly biased towards Carmelo Anthony, yet the judge issued a gag order to protect the defense.
But don't look at black people and say, don't always play the race card. We don't play a race card, we live it.
Okay, that's the fourth time he said that we don't play the race card, we live it. Nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, nigga, shut the fuck up. Like, nigga, please. This nigga's talking about we don't play the race card, we live it. Really? Is you live the race card, but you got the bond reduced by 75%. That's why this alleged murderer is at home playing NBA 2K while Austin Metcalf is 6 feet under. Yeah, of course you live the race card.
We live a reality.
I'm sure you do.
We also feel that the bond that Carmelo Anthony is on is too high.
Guys, this right here is exactly the reason why the judge has finally issued a gag order. This nigga just sat up here and said with a straight face that we believe the $250,000 bond for Carmelo Anthony is still too much. My guy, your quote-unquote client ended the life of another human being and admitted to doing so. There is no evidence of self-defense. As a matter of fact, Carmelo Anthony is lucky to even be a free man at this time. Steve the Art Guy with the $5 super chat says, we see through the hard R legal jargon and buzzwords. Abso-fucking-lutely. Love it.
We do.
Yes, Big Said says he is addressing race more than the actual problem. Guys, that is 100% correct. This is exactly the strategy that the OJ team did. The OJ team somehow convinced the jury to forget about all of the physical evidence, forget about all of the circumstantial evidence, forget the motive, forget the timeline. No, Mark Furman is a racist. Rodney King was beaten up by cops. They're racists. OJ Simpson should be acquitted because, well, racism.
Because guess what? We've been here when Aaron Dean was arrested. We was here when Amber Geiger was arrested.
This has nothing to do with Aaron Dean or Amber Geiger.
$200,000. The system, it has a problem in it. Now, what I want to be able to do is...
Yeah, the system does have a problem. It favors niggas.
Is ensuring what we was able to hear today from the Frisco Police Department is reensuring that the Frisco Police Department is doing everything that it can to address the racism and the bigotry. We have...
Beats all young and attractive with the $2 super set says, just say we live the race card 20 times. Bro, he's almost halfway there.
Saw the police chief, a statement being sent out by the police chief. That was false. We saw a false autopsy report. That was false. We have to caution the community to say, hey, we cannot trust everything that is online. The disinformation that is going online is hurting this case. And it has...
The disinformation towards who? See, the disinformation that he is talking about, there is no disinformation on the Austin Metcalf side. All of the disinformation is coming from the Carmelo side. Carmelo Anthony was jumped. We've heard all the disinformation. Carmelo Anthony was jumped. Austin Metcalf and his brother were white supremacists. Dude, Queen I'm Your Mama, Queen I Ain't Shit came on here and said, they were a couple of big football players who knew karate. Tariq Nasheed called them white supremacists. All of the, and I mean every single 148% of the disinformation has come from the Carmelo side. So for this nigga to sit up here and say with a straight face, talking about disinformation, bro, you need to look in the mirror. The disinformation is coming from you people.
It has to stop. It has to stop, y'all. As we know it right now, Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony.
Guys, the fact that this nigga still can't say this boy's name right is just, like, I can't even, this just doesn't make any sense. Why in the world have you hired this guy if he can't even pronounce the name of the victim? This is insanity. Phoenix Light Games says, Donovan, did you pick up on what Dominique just said? He said impartial. He doesn't want that. He wants a biased trial. If Karmelo has an impartial trial, the odds are against him. He's lying. Right. He definitely does not want an impartial trial. He definitely wants a biased trial. He wants a biased trial for him. Guys, this is a very female-oriented strategy. They want all of the advantages without any of the costs. And this, again, is why the judge has issued a gag order, is because of statements like this. The brazenness, the hubris, the entitlement. We still think his $250,000 bond is too much, even though he literally admitted out of his own mouth at the crime scene, I'm not alleged, I did it. And now this nigga can't even say Metcalf. He continues to say Metcalf.
They did not know each other. They did not know each other. Let's stop it. They were not at a party together.
No, they weren't. And this hurts your client.
Let's stop the lies regarding this situation.
Yeah, talk to your people about that.
We also know that both Austin, Metcalf, the twin brothers, were on the roster that day to be at that track meet.
I still can't believe that he keeps calling him Austin Metcalf.
We also know that Karmelo Anthony was on the roster that day to be at that track meet. We know they both arrived, all of them arrived to this facility via the transportation of Frisco ISD. The lies has to stop, y'all. As far as the legal strategy, I'm not.
The lies have to stop.
Talking about that today because that's not my place. I'm not the lawyer.
Praetorian Guard says the race grift is dying. They have to cling onto it like Leonardo DiCaprio clung onto that port in the Titanic. Be tall, young, and attractive with another $5 super chat says, this lawyer proves you can't make blacks happy. If whites have more accountability, shouldn't they have more rights? Great power comes with great responsibility, dude. Be tall, young, and attractive. BTYAA. BTYAA. Praetorian Guard says, this dude is not a lawyer. Why do they need him? I don't know. I really don't.
I think you guys have all had a statement in regards to that. The lawyers have asked for a bond reduction, and they will release that in the way. We are solely here because where racism and bigotry and hate arises, the Next Generation Action Network will be there and will respond to that hate. We will not allow our communities to go under attack. We know that when people see a white and a black man in an unfortunate situation happen, that race always becomes a factor in that situation. And it's really because people don't want to really have a conversation about racial reconciliation in this country. In the current climate that we live in, where racism and bigotry is at the forefront.
Yeah, none of this has anything to do with Karmelo's innocence or guilt. Mr. Alexander.
We don't really want to have these conversations. And social media has been a stomping ground for people to be able to launch any disparity that they want to. And so, our heart goes out to all who are involved. The Next Generation Action Network
Stop the cap.
to restate that we are here to support this situation based on what we have seen. We want to continue to express Mr. Karmelo Anthony's grounds of where he has displayed self-defense. I think that in the next coming days, as you see the things going out in the courtroom, it will be displayed. But today's meeting was solely about...
This dude is literally just talking. He's just talking, y'all. He has no idea what he's talking about.
The threats that have been going towards their home and ensuring that there is a fair and impartial investigation going on. And I want the public to know that our organization, along with attorneys, are doing everything they can to make sure that race is not a factor in this case.
No, bruh. Race is definitely a factor in this case. Race is 1,000% a factor in this case. And he wants race to be a factor in this case as long as it's advantageous to his side. Niggas always talk about, we shouldn't make this about race, we shouldn't make this about race. Nah, nigga, it is about race. A nigga killed a white boy. That nigga's going to prison. It's about fucking race. Stop it. Look, man, we ain't about political correctness over here, y'all. This is why there's the hashtag black fatigue, and it's really hashtag nigga fatigue. People are tired of niggas. Be tall, young, and attractive with a $2 super chat says, Johnny Cochran was brilliant, but was a snake. Johnny Cochran was he honestly might be one of the very best defense lawyers of our time. I would put Jose Baez in that. Jose Baez got Casey Anthony off. We all know that she was and is still guilty. They had her dead to rights. Yes, Johnny Cochran was brilliant, but he was a fucking snake. OJ hired him for a reason. King Life, member for 60 months, which is 5 years, said the malt liquor empowerment. Yeah. Come on, King. King, bro, you can't be saying shit like that on stream.
And supporting, like we've always done. And so I really appreciate the police chief coming to meet with us today to answer all of those questions that we've had. At this time, I'll just open it up for questions.
Tommy, what exactly did you ask police to do?
Okay, I'm going to slow it down so that we can hear these questions.
What exactly did they tell you they would do, and is it enough?
Okay. Break that down. Just give me that again.
What exactly did you ask Frisco Police in your meeting today to do about these allegations of racism leveled against this family? What did you ask police to do about it? What did they say they were going to do about it, and is it enough?
Okay, so what the woman asked is, what concerns did you bring up to the police department about the racist comments? And what did they say they were going to do about it? And is what they told you enough? That's the question. Be Tall, Young, and Attractive with another $2 super chat says, too many blacks use the race card to not be accountable. Absolutely. It's like, dude, the race card is the modern day get out of jail free card. Okay? The race card is the get out of jail free card. Also, the N-word. He called me a nigger, that's why I shot him. He called me a nigger, that's why I beat the shit out of him. He called me a nigger, that's why I did what I did. Black people, and let me ask you guys, has you guys ever seen I forget which one it was, and I know you guys are going to kill me for this. Let's go to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let's go to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, shall we? Let's go back to Captain America, the Winter Soldier. And then let's go to Captain America, I think it might have been Civil War. Whatever Marvel movie, when James Buchanan Barnes, Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier with the bionic left arm, actually one of my favorites, when he was rogue and Captain America had to bring him in. There was this very peculiar character in the beginning of whatever movie that was, and please forgive me for forgetting it. He had a series of 9 words, I think, that when he got in front of Bucky, the Winter Soldier, he would just, and they were like 9 random words. They were 9 random words. Words to control Winter Soldier. I should have actually had this pulled up. Yes! Here are the words to control the Winter Soldier. Okay? 17, daybreak, freight car, furnace, benign, homecoming, longing, one, and rusted. As soon as he read those words, and Real Rain 89 says Winter Soldier is the best Marvel movie, abso-fucking-lutely. And I love Tony Stark, loved Iron Man. Those are my favorite, but the best Marvel movie is Captain America Winter Soldier. As soon as he heard those words, he would wake up and be under mind control. Right? As soon as he heard those 9 words, he would wake up and be under mind control. I think it is Civil War. I think it is Civil War. Captain America had to bring him in, and no one could figure out why Bucky Barnes was, going around, levying terroristic activities. Right? Read those same 9 words. Go kill Howard Stark and his wife. Do you guys remember that scene where he reached in and he choked Mrs. Stark? Then he basically beat Howard Stark to death. Remember that? Bucky Barnes wasn't in his right mind because of those 9 words given to him by that one dude. Guys, niggas are the same way. But you don't have to read them 9 words to get them to do dumb, crazy shit. You only have to say one. You only have to say one. And guys, you don't even have to say one. You don't even have to say one. All they have to do is accuse you of saying the word. And as far as niggas are concerned, that gives them carte blanche to do and act and say whatever they want. The law be damned. That's what this is. That's what this is. Niggas think they're the Winter Soldier in this particular case. Well, officer, he called me the N-word. I'm definitely justified in breaking the law. Officer, she implied the N-word. Officer, she called me the N-word. That's why I did X, Y, and Z. Officer, he called me the N-word. That's why 12 of us jumped this one dude. It is literally the same thing. Niggas are controlled by a word, not 9 words. Not 9 words like Bucky, like Bucky Barnes. No. One word. One word. And that gives them permission to just break the law. I'm sure you guys have probably heard about this case too before we continue with this. There's a kid down in South Carolina. FCA, Fellowship of Christian Athletes. There's some sort of, and Simon, I'm going to come to you in just a second. I see you've pulled up. This kid gets done with practice. White kid gets done with practice, and I may actually cover it a little bit later today. Takes a shower, gets in his towel, goes back to his dorm room, right? Goes back to his dorm room. In his dorm room, he had, 4 or 5 of his black teammates waiting on him. He comes into the room. They're like, put some clothes on. He's like, okay, puts his clothes on. They told this kid, we are going to beat the fuck out of you. We're going to beat the fuck out of you. Why? Because in the group chat, you use the N-word in the group chat. And he's looking at these guys, he's like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't use the N-word. They said, no, you don't. They said, yes, you do. You use the N-word. No proof, no nothing. They just said, you use the N-word, we're going to beat the shit out of you. Now, thankfully, the kid knew and was aware of the attack. And this was a brave fucking kid because what he did is he set up the phone. He set up the phone to record the whole thing. He took his phone and he set it up. And with his Apple Watch, he turned on the camera to the phone. He turned on the camera to the phone and he caught the whole thing on camera. And they beat the shit out of him. They beat him. They broke a couple of his ribs. They injured him badly. They gave him a concussion. They gave him a concussion so bad that kid can never play football again. What happened to those players? They got a 1-game suspension. These guys committed aggravated assault. It was 5 or 6 on 1. There was even a nigga in the goddamn closet. Beat the shit out of him just over an accusation. Guys, this is Salem witch trial stuff. He said the N-word. Let's go beat him up. She said the N-word. Let's go jump her. This is what he or she said the N-word. That is the excuse that niggas use to be out of pocket and break the law. Let me go to the pull-up line here and bring on Simon. Simon, how you doing today, man?
What's up, bro? You remember me from the other day?
I do.
When you were doing that stream on that jumping?
Absolutely.
What's up, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing, man?
Yeah, dude. I was just gonna say, like, man, there's basically, like, people don't realize there's like modern lynchings going on of white people. Like, I'm not trying to play victim personally, but have you ever heard of that situation that happened in Knoxville? I want to say it was like 4 or 5 years ago, where a couple got picked up, kidnapped, taken back to a random house, and like tortured, bound, like just like disgusting stuff, and it never made it past like the local news at all.
Wow.
So people don't realize this stuff's going on at all. And like, as far as like the N-word thing, I don't personally use that because I believe in freedom of speech. Don't get me twisted, but
absolutely.
Like, just like you said, if you go around saying that, you're going to eventually get murdered. Like, straight up, you're going to get beat down, murdered, anything. And, like, people know that. So, I don't know, man. Like, where do you think the country is going direction-wise with all this bull crap?
That's a very good question because, see, I'm definitely an advocate for free speech. But on the other side, I've always said freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences, right? But here's the thing,
right.
Simon. Here's the thing, Simon. It's not against the law to call somebody a nigger. It is against the law to stab somebody in the heart and kill them. It is against the law to assault someone.
100%.
So if there's a black person and a white person, and they're in some sort of verbal altercation, and the white person calls a black person, and the white person calls a black person a nigger, and the black person hits the white person, and the white person doesn't respond to retaliate, the black person is guilty of assault. Okay? Now, again, that white person paid the price for saying the N-word, but that doesn't mean that the black person isn't still going to suffer the consequences for breaking the law. And again, as reprehensible as the hard R N-word is, that's all well and good. But again, we have to follow the law. And at the end of the day, I truthfully think that black people allow themselves to be controlled by this N-word. And I like the way you characterize what's going on here. These are modern day lynchings. What we saw at that Cincinnati Jazz Festival, that may as well have been a lynching. But then to justify it, all they say, well, he called him the N-word. Or did you see what happened to Emmett Till? My guy, you weren't around for Emmett Till. That has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. The only reason I call it a lynching is because, it really is racial. Like, and a lot of it's the news. So, like, say you're living in a neighborhood, right? And your neighbor next door to you're friends with, like, Myron, right?
Oh,
like
yeah,
Myron,
dude.
Myron Gaines or whatever.
Of course.
So he knows basically everything that's going on in the world, bro. Like, he's on point. But, if my neighbor over here is getting news nonstop, like, anti-white bullcrap all the time, like evil colonizer, this, that, and you got your, little white kids outside playing, like, you can't control what the news is saying to your neighbors. So it's really, like, causing a lot of, like, violence and division, man. It's messed up.
It is, but I think what we're beginning to see are the consequences of the left-leaning and slanted media, and this is both mainstream and online. This, like, the whole the Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf situation got a lot of publicity, but there were almost no sympathizers for the actual victim. The Anthony family stood up there and gave that press conference. Kayla Hayes is sitting there crying her eyes out. We deserve this and a fair trial, that. And I'm like, if you looked at that press conference, you would think that her son was the one that got murdered.
Yeah, dude, that's why I really respect, like, people like you and Myron. Like, God bless y'all for real, because,
of course,
like, I don't see even, like, white people standing up for themselves in a, know, not hating on black people, but just standing up and being like, hey, like, we're getting attacked.
Yes.
Like, the fact that you guys are actually giving a voice to people who are censored and not able to say this kind of stuff, like on Ben Shapiro, for example, like, you can't go on there and actually talk about this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
No way.
Even though he claims to be a conservative, he's, you know what I mean? He's in a different camp. He's not going to come out and say this kind of stuff. He, in fact, probably likes this kind of division, to be honest.
He probably does. Listen, we're about the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And going back to the whole Cincinnati Jazz Festival thing, I am on record of saying, and I saw what started it. I saw the white dude reach over and slap the black dude. It is my opinion that, hey, if he reaches over and smacks that black dude has every right to defend himself and beat the holy hell out of that dude. However, that doesn't give half the city of Black Cincinnati permission to come in and beat the shit out of the guy. This was was a clear overreaction to something that should not have reacted that way. I'll give you the last word.
I had a friend named Wes who he was at this, like, house party. Some dude ended up, they exchanged words. He ended up saying, like, go away, crack, or whatever. Well, he turns around and says the N-word, and he thought it was between him and that dude. Well, like, 10 people ended up jumping this dude, like, breaking it, literally, like, his leg got broke, all kinds of stuff. It's just crazy, man. I pray for the world, man. I hope white and black people honestly can come together and realize, like, the whole foundational Black America thing. There's truth to that. Like, what I'm saying is, a lot of the things happening in the world and immigration, all this kind of stuff, it hurts both white and black people.
It does.
Ultimately. So I really think, like, I don't know, like, how in movies, a lot of times who you think is the enemy can turn out to be your best friend. I really think black and white people can come together in truth. And if we just keep speaking truth like this, I think things can change. But I love what you do, man. Just keep doing it, all in love, and God bless you, brother.
Thank you, Simon. I appreciate you chiming in, man. Always appreciate guys who come in and want to talk about this. Let's go to the next guy. Let's go to Jay Blaze. Jay Blaze, what's going on, brother? How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, man?
So what are your thoughts here on the gag order? I think personally, this helps the defense more than it helps the prosecution. What say you?
Yeah, so I guess they've been trying to get almost like character witnesses from Carmelo Anthony's school, and I think that hurts him even more.
Oh, yes.
But going back to what that other guy was saying, it's like, dude, racism was on life support
Yeah.
in the early 2000s.
Yep. Yep.
And since social media, and I think social media has ruined this entire country and
Yeah.
probably the world.
Yeah.
And all it takes is you have an algorithm and you keep getting fed it over and over and over and over. And this guy is trying to be Ben Crumb. He's trying to be
Yep.
one of these race baiter losers, but clearly he's not smart enough because he can't even speak
Can't even say his name right.
name correctly. And if this was 2020, I would be concerned, but it's 2025.
Yeah.
Have you seen what's happened with Sydney Sweeney?
Yes. Apparently, if you think Sydney Sweeney is attractive, you're a Nazi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I guess on Piers Morgan, that Mark man who's a
Mark
complete
Lamont
racist.
Hill. Oh my God. Yeah.
So he went on, and they were. Pierce even showed him like Beyonce's ad where she's wearing the same thing.
There
not
you
racist
go.
at all.
There you go.
And I think people are starting to wake up to it. Where,
Yep.
dude, this is completely biased. And now you have a couple black people trying to make a community of like 16 houses, and breadcrumbs on Twitter saying, "Hey, praise them. They're doing the right thing." And then you have white people going, "We want to make a whites-only community because we're tired of the black fatigue." And he's like, "Condemn these people, condemn them." So it's just completely double standard, and it's
crazy. What do you think of the idea? Because what Simon said earlier, I like what he said. He said these are basically modern day lynchings. I can't say I disagree, Jason. I really, really can't, because I mean, what else? I mean, like, how else can you characterize what happened in Cincinnati? Am I wrong?
It's not wrong. And dude, when you have a tiered system, because a couple of years ago, if you were a white woman or a black white man, you were the bottom of the pecking order,
Right?
And that's why you had some people turning trans to get
the benefits.
Victim points.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
And you cannot have a system like that. You all need to be equal. And dude, this country is founded on God, country, and family.
Yes.
And we need to get back to that, because I don't care if a black person is black, as long as he holds the values of this country. I don't care whatsoever.
Right. To me, it's not. It's not about race. I agree with you. I am friends that the people that I am the closest to are people that share my values. And a lot of people say, well, that's the true sign of a racist, is they say, well, they can count how many black friends. Dude, Justin Waller, Myron Gaines, Andrew, like, we're all, dude, Fresh Prince, we're all, Myron Gaines, we're all, like, we are literally the Rainbow Coalition, yet somehow we all have the same values. I think that's where we need to get back to. And you know me, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but yeah. I think we do need to get back to, I think we do need to get back to religious values, because whether you're religious or not, whether you believe in God or a deity or not, you got to admit, the Bible keeps people in line for better or worse.
Yeah, I'm not the most religious, but I believe in the biblical order.
Absolutely.
And it's just like it's just shared values. The same thing with dating. Like,
yes,
as long as you share, like you and Devin have the same values.
Yes.
But you two are vastly different. She's an introvert. You're an extrovert.
Right.
And you just work because you share values, and that's
right.
where we need to get back to.
I
agree.
agree.
You have women just saying, "Oh, he's a Republican. I can't even date him."
Oh my God, it's
So
crazy.
we just need to get back to like character values, and as a country, and as men and women, as white and black or Hispanic or whatever.
Last question here. Do you think that this gag order? Who do you think this gag order helps? Do you think it helps the prosecution more or the defense more?
The prosecution.
Oh, okay. And why is that?
It does. I thought you meant the. It helps the defense more, because Dude, you need to shut this guy up.
They can't shut the fuck up, dude. They just can't shut up.
He needs to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And dude, I think this could have gone very differently. I think he could have Austin, if he or Carmelo, if he had in the beginning said, "Hey, I am very sorry," and just come out and been very genuine and everything, I think he could have got a way better plea deal, because I think right now he's looking at maybe what's it called when he gets early release?
Parole.
Yeah, parole after like 40 years.
Yeah, man.
Dude, I think it could have been 10 if he had shown true remorse.
Absolutely.
And, spoken to the brother and
the father. Yeah.
Yeah. And, shown his 10 years where he's repenting and showed some community outreach from his prison. But he hasn't shown any of it.
Nope.
We haven't heard anything except for this lawyer or
this wannabe lawyer, race hustler.
Bender. Yeah, race baiter.
Incredible.
They did a disservice to him, and it's just sad to say.
It really is. I think that, and thanks for chiming in, Jay Blaze. I think it's clear at this point. I think Carmelo Anthony probably lost this case. Within the first month or so. I think he lost this case in the first month because they have made every misstep imaginable. Praetorian Guard says the couple was kidnapped, raped, tortured, and murdered in Knoxville, Tennessee in 2007. 4 males and 1 female were arrested, charged, and convicted in the case. Wow. It was the Shannon and Christopher Newsom case was brutal. My God. Machiavelli, talking about the same thing, says, Don, the case he was talking about was 18 years ago. It was the Shannon Christian and Chris Newsom case. It was horrific, and the niggas were laughing in the courtroom. Again, how long? Guys, I'm telling you right now, niggas are emboldened right now. Niggas don't realize, this is so funny, they don't realize that they are the minority. They're the minority. If a fraction of a percent of white people start to retaliate, it is going to be very bad for niggas. It's going to be very bad for niggas. And I'm going to tell you what, when white people start to retaliate, man, bodies are going to start dropping. They're going to start putting themselves in situations that baits these niggas. They might just go out and say, hey, you're a nigger. And then as soon as they're accosted by all of these niggas, guess what? We're going to have rooftop Koreans doing rooftop Korean type shit. Only they're not going to be Korean. Niggas steady play the lottery, drink malt liquor. You want to know what these white people are doing? They're off in the woods learning to shoot. They're learning to shoot AK-47s, Glocks, pistols, the whole nine. They ain't trying to fight you niggas toe-to-toe, one-on-one. No, they're gonna be picking y'all off like Zach Wilson in the NFL. You better believe it. King Life says, Drew and Dominique of the Malt Liquor Empowerment Network won't shut up. They don't want to be silent. No, they don't. Big says, who in this world sits back and says to themselves, how many black friends do I have? That would be ridiculous. I agree that values are all that matters, dude. If you share my values, I will rock with you. Jesus Christ, Dr. B84 with the $50 super chat, who is on permanent Don DeMarco status, says niggas are cooked.
Yep.
Wait a minute, why can't I? Wait a minute. There we go. All right, we got Phoenix Light Games in the. Oh wait, hold on. Looks like he's having some trouble. Yeah, I really want to talk to PLG. All right, PLG, I'll wait until you are. Oh, there he is. Gotcha. There we go. I wanted to talk to you since yesterday. All right, PLG. All right, bruh. Listen, man. The gag order is in full effect. What is your opinion on that?
Honestly, I'm not really surprised. I saw this coming.
Okay.
Anything like that because of all the nebulous and vague statements, especially on behalf of the Anthony family doing I think they were trying to do damage control and everything like that.
Okay.
They were grasping at straws and everything like that. Like Carmelo Anthony's father, we already know he screwed that up.
Yeah,
with
dude.
all the Facebook and the TikTok and the TikTok things that he's been doing, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he's come out and said that he says that he coached his son to bring a weapon to school in order to defend himself or anything like that.
God.
He said that I told him how to, I told him, hey, if somebody disrespects you like that, confront them. And I'm like, what the hell?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and this is something I actually wanted to tackle. I'm glad that you're talking about this today. This is why the whole country is out of whack, because the American justice system it's not impartial anymore. It's out of balance. It's biased.
Right.
And I actually wanted to ask because I'm not sure if I'm not sure if Praetorian Guard has any insight on this, but I don't know if people in these political positions, I think they should be doing psyche evaluations on these people to see if they have see if they have any hidden agendas.
Okay.
Because I don't think they do, because like we already see what happened with the woman 2 or 3 days ago who killed 2 white people and everything like that.
Oh, right. Right.
Yes, and they were trying, and remember that they were, and remember the mother was on that call with that lawyer, I think. And he
Yep.
was saying, and they were saying that you were saying like, well, we need to stay out of Minnesota because because it's becoming more corrupt now, and they're trying to raise the how do I say this, the age limit
Yes.
for when somebody can be tried as adults from 18 to 21. I'm like, what the fuck,
Dude, that's crazy.
How does that make fucking sense, man? Like, so basically, what you're doing, and bro, and that judge, like, so he retired after he gave those sentences to those 2 people.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, how convenient. So you decide to retire once you did the deed, and I'm like, no, this dude is fucking corrupt, man.
Unbelievable, man.
And the reason why he did that is so that he couldn't be held liable for what they would have done in the future. And I'm like, dude, we know what you're doing. Like,
right.
So, how convenient that you decided to retire weeks after you give those sentences. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
It's crazy, man. I was actually texting with Aaron Clary yesterday, right after somebody in the chat told me during yesterday's broadcast, that Aaron Clary, who was, I think, was born and raised in Minnesota, if I'm not mistaken, I'm sure he'll correct me there. He says Minnesota is a failed state, man. Like, he said, people break the laws. Of course, we know there are Somalian pirates living there and establishing territory control and all this other kind of stuff. To me, it's just incredible. Why would anyone ever move to the state of Minnesota? It's just beyond me at this point.
People would move there because they're oblivious to what is going on.
Yep.
Because the news tells them something different.
Yep.
But anybody with common sense knows that that CNN, all these news things, they have a woke liberal agenda.
Yes.
They don't have people's best interests at heart. This is why I stopped. Bro, anytime that something monumentous happens in the news or anything like that, I always go to Myron. Like he reports on this shit. Like, I don't trust the news anymore. I just trust you. I trust Myron, man, because he tells the truth, nothing but the truth.
That's
and
right.
And bro, and I wanted to take a moment to say, and I hope you pass this on to Myron. And
okay.
Like that. Myron, man, like, listen, dude, I know that I know that you don't get any benefit. Like, here's the thing: I'm being practical here when I say this. Like, I know that you guys are putting yourself at risk by telling us the truth and everything like that. People dox you. I mean, Myron has talked about it so many times. Like, people send him death threats.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: he doesn't care that he gets death threats, but when people start threatening Angie, and I'm like, oh my God,
man.
That's when he gets pissed. That's when he gets pissed. So I'm like Myron, like, even though that you're putting yourself in a corner, even though you're making yourself a target, you too, Donovan, like, man, I appreciate everything you guys do, man, because this whole Carmelo Anthony case, man, it's just like it never ceases to amaze me. It never ceases to amaze me the amount of, and this is why I came up with this quote: the only reason why niggas study the law or make it up to know the law is look for a loophole to to give themselves an excuse to be insubordinate to authority.
There you go.
Or justify killing white people for any reason, no matter how insignificant it is. And I'm like, dude, like, oh my god,
It's insane,
like,
man.
what the hell? You have a question for me?
Yeah, let me ask you this. I think that, and I want to touch on something that that Simon said. He basically said, what happened? What is the whole Cincinnati Jazz Festival thing and all of these videos where we see gangs of black people jumping white people? He calls these modern day lynchings, and I can't say I disagree. What say you?
I don't disagree. I wholeheartedly agree 100%. This is modern day lynching just on the black side.
Yep, 100%, man.
Yeah, this is modern day lynching on the black side and everything like that. Like and like it's so fun. Like all this proves is that niggas are cowards, man.
Yep.
Like anytime somebody does something, whether it's like, and here's the thing, I don't agree with what the guy did by slapping that guy in the back of the head.
Sure.
I don't agree with that. Yeah, anything like that. But bro, but 12 people show up.
Yeah. The response
like,
needs to be commensurate with the offense. And listen, listen, I talked about this yesterday. That dude, the black dude, had every right to throw fists, man. If you're in some sort of an altercation and somebody puts hands on you, you have absolutely every right to defend yourself. That does not give 38 people the right to defend you. It needs to be one-on-one. And I'll get you out of here on this. Have you noticed that in a lot of these videos where black people are beating the crap out of white people, it is never, and I mean ever, one-on-one. They're always jumping people, lynching people. It's always 5, 6, 10, 15 on one, like in Cincinnati. This once again proves that niggas are cowards when it comes to actually fighting. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, this proves. Yeah, bro, yeah. So one person decides to retaliate, and 10 or 12 or 20 people decide to jump in and everything like that. Like people, like they say they like, bro, niggas are just looking for an excuse to retaliate on white people for any type of reason.
That's it.
Like, if they see it, they're gonna jump on it and everything like that. And this is why. And don't worry, I'm not gonna be long. This is why I wholeheartedly agree with your statement that you made a few months ago. The cops need to be militarized, man. They need to be militarized.
Hell yes.
They need to be militarized because the point of the American justice system is not only to be impartial, but you have to have a degree of not only of respect, but even more so fear of it.
Right.
Like the reason why these niggas are so brazen with the cops is because they're not afraid of the cops.
No.
If the cops were actually dealing out the kind of punishment that you and I would agree that they fucking need, like a fucking baton smack to the face.
Hell yeah.
Or some kneecap and anything like that, they wouldn't be doing this
nope.
shit. But like the point of this is why we live in a civilized society, so we can avoid fighting.
Yes. Right.
Yes, and niggas are not trying to have conversations. Their first instinct is to fight. How many times have niggas come in the chat and when you debunk any of their claims, they say, "I'm gonna fight Donovan.
I'm gonna fight Donovan, kick his ass. They're gonna come after you first." It's always violence, bruh.
Yeah, we're gonna go to tell us when you're going to Fresh and Fit or anything like that. We're gonna fucking find you. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, man?
What these niggas don't realize, man, is that, bruh, I haven't been in a physical altercation in almost 10 years, man. Dude, I wish these motherfuckers would have run up.
Yeah,
on
I know.
me, man.
You're fucking waiting.
Because I'm crazy, but I shouldn't think like that. But, that's just how it is. That's, two types of niggas in the world. Those who get ready and those who stay ready. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, I know. I get it. You're like, we're all human. I get
sure.
that. I know that's fine. I know that when it comes to like, getting, staying ready or anything like that, you gotta be thinking about it practically. But these people, these niggas are just emotional fucks that just, oh, you don't agree with me? Okay, let's fight. I'm like, dude.
What are you talking about? Incredible. Looks like PLG has frozen up. PLG, I'm gonna go ahead and drop you here because it looks like you've frozen up. PLG, of course, always drops the mic. Christopher Williams says they never pull up. No, they never, ever pull up. Ever. King Live says if that's true, then he needs to be charged as well. That's reckless behavior to give a child a weapon to intentionally do bodily harm to someone. You know what? That is very, very interesting, King Life. That is very, 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 very interesting that you say that because now that we now know that Drew Anthony encouraged Carmelo Anthony to take a knife to school. And again, we don't know if he encouraged him to take a knife to school that day in particular. But, like, it's like, dude, it's pretty... I think you might be right, King Life. If Carmelo is convicted of anything, I think Drew Anthony needs to be held accountable. Jay Blake says, government and justice prioritize feelings. Absolutely. Okay, let's continue on with this sham press conference.
What I've asked them to do is put an additional presence out there with this family around their home. They have ensured that they have had levels of community.
Yeah, King Life says they know not to pull up. FNF has too much protection. Guys that will find their assailants and get them locked up, bro. Look, man, I'ma just put it to you that way. I'm gonna put it to you this way. If anybody were to run up on me, okay, chances are I probably wouldn't have to do anything. I'll just put it to you that way. Oh, PLG is back. Let me jump in and grab him. Okay, there we go.
Hey, sorry, my phone overheated. I had to let it.
Oh, that's all good. All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
Final thoughts here. Go ahead.
But bro, this is just getting out of hand or anything like that. And again, like you said before, man, this is why the concept of a civil war is about to happen, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
gonna happen. It may. And here's the thing: it's not gonna be as globally I don't even know if this is a word.
Catastrophized? Catastrophized,
yeah.
maybe?
Catastrophist or catastrophist.
Okay.
Original Civil War or anything like that. But I think it's going to be, subdivided between states. And I think people are going to start making borders or anything like that. Yeah. But this is just ridiculous, man. But again, Donovan, I won't keep you long because I know you got work to do, anything like that. Oh, one more thing I got to ask you.
Yeah, what you got?
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I have a shitload. I got a shitload of hard art videos already saved in my phone and anything like that. But I don't want to overwhelm you or anything like that. How many videos do you think I should? I asked this before. I texted you, but you were.
Oh yeah, that's right. Keep them coming, man. Keep them coming.
Yeah, because I don't want to overwhelm you or anything like that. Because I was asking you how many videos do you think I should send you per day so you have an accurate measurement of how to. Because I don't want to because I noticed that some of the videos I sent you didn't really see because I sent a lot.
Yes.
So so I'm kind of resending the ones you did not see.
Okay.
And sending new ones that I did find that are in my phone. So how many videos do you think I should send you per day? That way you're not overwhelmed.
Yeah, let's go 3 a day. I think 3 a day is the I think that's the sweet spot because I usually react to 2 to 3 per day. So yeah, if you could send me 3 a day, man, that'd be perfect.
Okay, cool. I was thinking about that myself. I was thinking like 3 to 4, but 2 to 3 is fine. Thank you for verifying that, man. And
absolutely.
See you on the next Hard Art, man.
Stay safe out there, brother. That is Phoenix Light Games chiming in as usual, dropping the mic. Yeah, listen, and a lot of people, and myself included, I think Civil War can be a little bit extreme. But guys, this is why I say that Civil War is if something doesn't change soon, Civil War is imminent. Guys, niggas laughing in the courtroom, okay? Niggas jumping white people, ganging up on white people. The kid in South Carolina getting jumped by his teammates. He can never play football again. At some point, white people are going to start to retaliate. This is so Jay Blaze asked me to look up the mayoral candidate for Minnesota. Omar Fatah. This guy doesn't even look like, you know what I mean? It's like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? This is insane. This is absolute insanity. Havoc Pleasant said, kind of like the movie Civil War that came out a couple of years ago. Guys, the movie Civil War was absolutely jarring. Very well made. I would highly recommend it. Absolutely jarring. Because it does not look like, because if you watch that movie, that does not look inaccurate. Here's another picture of the mayoral candidate. Would you, I don't know, man. I'm sorry, bruh. I'm sorry. It's almost like if this guy wins, I halfway expect him to go to the mic and say, look at me. I am the captain now. I am the captain now. Let's continue.
Communication, but for the family, it has been hard for them to know and trust everything because of all of the disinformation. And it made it hard for a lot of people to even trust law enforcement in this situation because of what was going on. It was one moment that we thought that the police chief made a statement regarding the case. Then we find out that's a lie, right? The family saw an autopsy report, you know what I mean? Now, at the end of the day, because of my experience and growing up in the funeral home industry, I know that it's impossible to have an autopsy report, you know what I mean, something like that to be released in the matter of 2 days, right? So we was able to dispel that really quick, right? You know what I mean? And we knew that that was never going to be the avenue that the Collin County Medical Examiner would release that information, right? And so it made it very hard. So what we've asked them to do is increase their presence. We've asked them for a direct contact for the family to be able to send them the information that is when they're getting it, you know, that they have a point of contact to be able to do this. You know, their home address has been shared, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hate, you know, there's a lot of stuff that.
And again, like their home address being shared, I do not endorse that. I don't endorse that. I don't like the fact that there have been people who have doxed, you know, Drew Anthony's workplace. That's completely out of bounds. That's completely out of bounds. Okay, so Drew Anthony may or may not have encouraged his son to, you know, take a knife to school, and it resulted in the death of an innocent student. That's no reason to just burn it all down. So,
people are saying regarding their son that are false. You know what I mean? You would think, based on what is online, you would think that Karmelo Anthony is a person who is like, you know what I mean, a hooligan or somebody that doesn't have a home or a structure.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, is Karmelo Anthony is not a hooligan. I don't even think Karmelo, well, I don't know. Like, I can sit here and say I don't think Karmelo Anthony is a bad kid. There are rumors that he used to get into a lot of fights, but, you know, that doesn't make him. There's no, look, man, even if Karmelo Anthony were a model student, never got in trouble, no controversy, 4.0 GPA, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's still guilty, guys. So all of this character stuff has absolutely nothing to do with what he did.
Or foundation.
It's the same as trying to, well, he was a bad kid, and it doesn't matter if he was a bad kid. Whether he was a good kid or a bad kid at this point is immaterial. It's immaterial. It does not matter. Doesn't matter.
Or all of these different types of things. There's been a whole bunch of lies, like Karmelo Anthony was put out of his home days before. Just stupidity. They are all false and lies. So, you know what I mean? It's just some of those things that the family knows and things that were expressed. Like, the family knows they got to the bus to do that because Karmelo Anthony's car was at his school. You know what I mean? So it's these type of lies that is being expressed on social media that's making it hard for a lot of the family to even trust. So that's the reason why we had this meeting, to be able to ask, you know, answer any questions.
And just real quick though, but so what did police say that they were actually going to do? Are they going to increase
Yes.
protection for the
Yes.
city?
Okay, so she's asking, are the police going to increase protection? And it appears that the answer is yes. And I do apologize, the video is kind of low. I don't know why. I think it's just probably on their end.
Yes. They accepted that. They did. And
Try turning up your volume, please.
In the initial letter to the city that you raised serious questions about their
Okay, I think we've heard enough. The point is, guys. Because I'm getting ready to start my my Love Island USA breakdown. The point is, guys, is that I believe I believe that this gag order, I think that this benefits the defense a lot more than it does the prosecution, for the simple fact that everyone on the Anthony side, they just can't shut up. Drew Anthony is all over social media talking about we've moved and this and that. Dominique Alexander's telling anyone who will listen how racially unfair this is and how we're going to seek justice and this and that and the third. The judge finally just says, you know what? Everybody shut up until the case has been adjudicated. Because I'm going to tell you what, man. What are we, 10 months away? What are we, 11 months away? We got August, September, October, November, December. January, February, March, April, May. We are 10 months away from the start of the trial. Round about 10 months from the start of the trial, guys. 10 months away. If there was no gag order for 10 months, dude, Karmelo Anthony may as well just be escorted right to jail. Because a lot of, dude, this happened on April 2nd. So we've got April, May, June, July. In 4 months, we have arrived here. Indigents, raising $600,000. Finding out that this whole thing was a scam. Like, so the judge has said, okay, in 4 months, the defense has really damaged itself. I really need to protect the defense from itself. So let's issue a gag order. All right, guys. So what is going to happen nay? Did I say that in an Irish accent? Nay? There we go. Let me, So what's going to happen now, guys? What's going to happen now is I'm going to quickly make the switch to Rumble. I would say probably maybe a quarter after. Takes me just a few minutes to set everything up. This is a taste of what you guys are going to be getting. Those are just the credits. So in just a few minutes, I'm going to be over on Rumble. Getting ready to. There we are. Getting ready to react to. Yes, here we go. So we are getting ready to react to Love Island. We are getting ready to react to Love Island USA. We're all the way to episode 25. Yes, it is a long season, but it is a good season. Rumble.com/Donovan Sharp.